And slow release, feet together. Inhale those arms overhead. Exhale, bring it into your heart. This is going to be a full body stretch routine. All of our work standing, no equipment needed. We're going to get started right now. We'll want to begin standing nice and wide. You want to soft bend to your knees. Begin with a spinal twist. So make sure that your heels are lifting as you spin to protect the knee. Really let your arms relax here, even if you could let your hands hit the chest and the low back. This is going to help the lymph system begin to move. Sternum is lifted, stand tall. And nice and slow, just let those arms be the last to stop as you come back to center. Relax those shoulders, and I want you to imagine you're standing in a pane of glass, so we can only move side to side, not forward and back. I want you to slide one hand down your leg, opposite elbow is going to lift towards the ceiling. The most important thing that we need to do every day is find the 6 movements of our spine. So we have forward and back, side to side, and rotation, which is how we started. As you slide to the right, I want you to hold here. You can brace above or below the knee and the thigh. Press the pelvis forward, engage the navel, left arm to the ceiling, opening the chest. Try to reach that hand behind you. And to go deeper, palm is going to face the floor as you extend towards the right. Imagine pulling the navel in and drawing that left hip away from your left fingers. Breathe in full. And nice and slow, slide through center. We're going to go to the left, so brace above or below the knee. You are squeezing the pelvis forward as you draw the navel in. Right arm to the ceiling, opening up behind you. And maybe deepening here, I'm going to go. Palm faces the floor, extend your right hip away from your right fingertips as they reach to the left. One more breath in. And pull back to center. All right, relax those shoulders. Give me a couple little twists. Again. Back to center, feet stay wide, toes are forward. Inhale your arms overhead. And I want you to climb a rope as if you're gonna pull it right out of the ceiling. Pull and contract. Pull and contract. Focus on getting up and out of the side body. One more each time. Reach right and left. Come back to center. You want to bring your feet so that they're right underneath your hips. Come onto the thighs just above your knees. Taking this into cat-cow. Lift the tailbone, drop the belly through, and round and curl under. The inhale as we come into that cow-like back, tailbone lifts. Exhale, curl and scoop like that cat pose. So just take a couple rounds at your own pace. You're moving on the breath. Give me one more. And meet me in that cow-like position. So we have our belly dropping through, tailbone is lifted. Try to straighten your legs to whatever degree they'll straighten. If you have more flexibility, you'll want to come onto the shins. Playing with the distribution of your weight, I want you to rock towards your toes just a little, and then back to the heels. Notice as you come forward, there's more stretch. I want you to hold there. Squeeze and engage all the muscles of your legs and imagine spreading your sit bones. Right leg pulls right, left leg pulls left, so we're trying to pull apart from opposite directions. Spine is nice and long. Take a breath in. And then exhale, soften into a fold. You can bend those knees. Roll your way up and assume that cat-like back. I want you to curl that tailbone under and keep it there. Release your hands and take a little swing from side to side. Stretching out the side body and the low back. Now as you come over to the right, I want you to take the back of your left hand and pull it away from you. We're emphasizing this little pelvic tilt here to really get into that side body. Navel's pulled in nice and tight. Release, take a couple swings at center. And then over to the left. Right, back of the right hand, we push. Check your form here, really hollow out through that center. And roll your way up. Shoulders back and down, feet can remain right where they are, a little wider than your hips. Take that right arm and I want you to swing it behind you. Now as the arm comes up and over, I want you to look over your shoulder and just try to follow your hand with your eyes. Feeling that little bit of spinal rotation. Once more. And then I want you to brace the hips. So I'm going to use my left hand across my body. Don't let your right hip move and try to pull that right hand as far behind you as you can. Reach and pull back. Notice the difference. We're isolating the shoulder. Last time you're going to come up and over. Stop at about the height of your shoulder. Fingers are nice and wide. And try to push that palm away from you, nice and open. And look to the left. You're going to try to open up the chest. Try leaning your left ear to left shoulder. Pull that right hip forward as you draw the palm back. And release. All right, let's try that second side. First, you want to follow with your eyes, right? So see if you can just take that little bit of rotation. I'm going to look for that hand behind me. You should be corseting the ribs together, navel is drawn in, tailbone extends downwards. Last one. Brace across. I want to take that left hip and stabilize it. Reach that arm behind you. Don't even look with your eyes. Up, reach back. Last time, palm is going to drop back to about shoulder height. Nice wide palm here, so push that palm away from you. Draw the left hip forward, and then look over to the right side. Really open up the chest, breathe into it. Head tilts to the shoulder, so right ear, right shoulder. Lift that left jawline towards the ceiling. And release your work. All right, roll those shoulders, soft bend your knees. Let's see if you can take this into a little hip circle. So I want you to focus on getting all corners and walls of the room. Just like we're kind of scraping the inside of a peanut butter jar. I guess if you're nut free, we can do sunflower butter. Reverse the direction, nice big circles. Popping and cracking is normal here. Keep your legs straight, but continue your circle. Just moving right through the pelvis. Reverse. Take it back to center, and I want to continue this theme of circles. So just a soft bend to your knees, draw the tailbone down. Let's start with a little bit of thoracic mobility. So I want you to try to slide your rib cage back and forth. So all you're going to do is slide through that pane of glass. All right, so nothing moved from navel center down. And just like that little cat-cow, I want you to try to come forward and back through the sternum. So on an inhale, lift the sternum, and on the exhale, contract back. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Breathe in, breathe out. Now if this is a challenge, use your fingers on your diaphragm to feel as if you have something to push against and resist. Inhale and exhale. Thoracic mobility, right? We lose it very quickly. We remain locked in our thoracic spine, bad posture. One more time. Come forward, slide to the left, back, right, and forward. I want you to make a little square or diamond. Forward, side, back, side. Once you have your little square, I want you to try to smooth it out in a circle. And then just try to reverse. We come forward. Move into your 4 directions first, right? Hitting all 4 points on our clock or our square. And then try to smooth it out if you can. It's good for the abs too. One more circle. And then back to center. Keep those knees bent. Come back into that spinal rotation. Nice and deep. Spin the heels, you twist. Bring that back to center. We'll bring those feet a little bit wider than your hips so that you can make a pivot to one side. From here, I want you to focus on lifting that back heel. Engage the glutes so you can feel that pelvis right underneath you. Same arm as leg that's behind. I want you to grab the forearm, come up and over. Try to lift your heart to the ceiling as you draw the navel in. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, focus on a cat-like back. I'm gonna round and scoop as I try to pull the arm forward. So I really want you to focus on this hollowing out action through the navel center. Upper back feels like it's trying to round. Inhale overhead, hands to your hips. Plant your back heel, legs will straighten. Get ready for pyramid. Pyramid pose is the opposite position of the pelvis as where we were underneath. Now we want to come from behind. So tailbone lifts, nice flat back, comes forward. Right, so you can hold with a flat back, navel draws in, you're engaging the muscles of your thighs. You could also brace above or below the knee. And if it feels accessible, you can put your hands on the floor, adding that little bit of a fold. You want to relax the head here, so long through the back of the neck. Our goal is to focus on keeping the hips nice and square, so both hip bones facing forward. Roll your way up nice and slow. We'll make that pivot to center, and then second side. Lift that back heel. Right, focusing on that first, that little pelvic tilt. Same arm as leg, right, comes up and over. We want to think of that nice little hinge across, so subtle side bend as the navel draws in. Heart to ceiling. Round and scoop in. Really focus on that hollowing out action. Pull that arm away from you. All right, up and over. Plant that back heel, legs are straight. Right, this is important. Lots of times people kind of fold from here. Tailbone back. So if you have a little loop on your imaginary jeans here, pulling you back. Long spine comes forward. This is perfectly fine. You can hold here. Bracing above or below the knee, keeping the back nice and flat. Hands to the floor. Upper body would relax for that one. Long to the back of the neck for everybody. Squeeze the muscles in your legs. Roll your way up and then pivot back to center. You'll probably want to go a little wider for this one. Hands to the hips. Toes will turn out slightly. I want you to hinge into one knee, right? So make sure, look down. Your knee should be tracking over your toes. Straighten and bend. Right now I'm stacked right over my pelvis. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, next time you come to the right, hold here. See if you could send your body weight forward as you send the tailbone back. Long spine, you can keep your hands on the hips. If you can reach the floor, go for it. You could also walk a little closer to the left. Sink into that left inner thigh. Rise up to center. Sink to the left, start here, right? Stacked over the pelvis. Long spine, send your tailbone back as you hinge forward, long spine. Sink into that right inner thigh, hands to floor option. Or we walk to the foot, so hands walk to the right as you sink through that left knee. Roll your way back to center. You could square those toes to point forward, and let's just take that little side bend again. You're sliding through a pane of glass. Brace with that right arm on the leg, above or below the knee. Left arm comes up and over. Make sure the navel's drawn in and you're pressing the pelvis forward. Up and over. Slide through. Come up. And you may want to take your legs a little bit wider for this. We're going to come into a wide angle fold. Make sure that your weight is more on the outer foot so that you can remain lifted through your inner arches. Try to come forward with a nice flat back. Now if you want to bend your knees on your way down because you're tight, bend your knees. Coming into your variation of a fold, ragdoll the arms, Shake the head yes or no, relax the neck completely. Little pendulum swing side to side. As you feel ready, you can just hold at center. If you can touch the floor comfortably or you want to go deeper, you can always grab the backs of your calves or your ankles to pull yourself a little further in and focus on the distribution of your weight. If I can float my body weight closer to the front of the foot rather than the heel, I feel more stretch through my backside. Inhale, come up to a flat back, almost as if you could push yourself away from your shins, lift your gaze. Exhale, come back into your fold and shift to the right. Left arm is going to come to outer thigh, calf, ankle, whatever reaches, and coming into a twist. Right arm reaches to the ceiling. Focus on compressing here, drawing your torso towards the right thigh. Right palm is facing out, so that's a common error here where the palm twists. Look up and check your form. Sweep across center. We want to focus on compression first, belly to thigh. Left arm reaches up. Look over your shoulder, check that palm that's facing out. Release back to center, and as you do, turn your toes out slightly, dropping your hips. Now you can put your hands on the inner thighs and try to push out from here. If you have a little further to go, you can come onto your forearms and elbows, push the knees open, still tracking the toes. Try a little figure eight or a little side to side action here. The goal is a nice long spine while we try to drop our tailbone. Take a breath in. Exhale, toes forward. Lifting the hips, come back into your fold, breathe in. Exhale, nice and slow, roll your way up. Shoulders back and down. Inhale those arms overhead. And exhale, give me that nice press out again. So palms will press away. Try to pull your fingertips back towards your face. We look to the right. And then tilt your ear to the shoulder, so left shoulder. Same thing, look to the left. Push to the right. You don't realize how much we really need to stretch for this until we get here. Tilt the ear. Releasing the arms. You want to swing your right across so that you can hook the left elbow crease. Actively shrug the right shoulder to the floor. Now this is perfectly fine. I'm resisting with my right shoulder as I pull across with my left. I like to take this a little bit deeper and add a little bit of traction by allowing my body weight to fold forward and coming back into that little wide angle position. Make sure you're actually pushing the shoulder away from your ear, and this is going to intensify. Give it one more breath. Nice and slow on the release, we roll up. Roll those shoulders back and down. Left arm comes across the body. We want an active shrug down of the shoulder, getting it away from the ear. Drag your right arm down your left. Option for the fold, right? This is just going to add that little bit of traction. So delicious in the worst way. Roll your way up. Heel toe those feet together. And as they come underneath you, I want you to bend just your right knee. Inhale the arms overhead. On the exhale, we're gonna fold to the right. So nice and slow, think of that nice flat back, tailbone is lifted. I'm gonna fold to the right. You may want to brace on the knee or the thigh here. If you can reach the floor, you could certainly take that route, but I want you to use facilitated assist. What that means is I'm gonna take my thumb right in the hip crease, push the hip away as you fold towards that right diagonal. Working outer IT band and hip. Inhale, centered, arms come overhead. Getting ready for that second side bend, just the left. We're gonna fold to that left diagonal, right? Maybe bracing on the knee. Maybe hands to floor. I like the facilitated assist. We're gonna go right into that hip crease with the thumb. Extend it back. Breathe. Releasing the bind, inhale your arms up. Bring it into heart center. All right, we've got one more stretch to finish our standing sequence. I'm hoping you feel fully stretched by now, or almost. So with this little tandem position, I want you to try to sink back into the foot that's behind you. My knee is continuing to track my toes, and I'm just trying to get a little extra ankle mobility there, right in that Achilles tendon. As you sink back, bring the forward toes with you. So I'm going to think of a long spine here, string on the sternum, takes me forward into my fold. If you can reach the foot and gently pull it towards you, so be it. We want nice active toes here, pulling upwards. Heel digs into the floor. One more breath. Exhale, release, roll up. Second side, sink back into the foot, right? So make sure that knee is moving in the same direction as your toes. Bring the foot with you, so my toes are reaching towards the ceiling, getting ready for that fold. Long spine comes forward, maybe hand on the foot. Gently pull it towards you if you reach. Last breath in. Exhale, release, step those feet together. Inhale your arms overhead. Bring it into the heart. And opening your eyes. I'm hoping this could be your morning wake-up call or a pick-me-up in the middle of the day whenever you need it. Of course, if you've enjoyed this, give it a like. Consider subscribing if you're new. And I love to hear from you and how you're doing or the things that you want to work on together. Hopefully, I will see you again soon.